nervous because I'm here now.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. I'm Glenn Martin. I'm here with my co-host, James Haskell. And we had to put a video out right away because Lamar Jackson was just named by his peers to be the number one player in the upcoming season. And I'm a little surprised. You know, not because he doesn't deserve it, but I'm surprised he's getting the recognition.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I thought there was going to be some way they were going to leave him out of the top 10. Like just something.
I don't know. I thought I could see him maybe not being in the top 3, and that would have bummed me out.
Yeah. So I was surprised. I was surprised as well, like you said, not because of his accomplishments, but because there's always someone poking holes in Lamar's game because he's different.
That's right.
But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. He's here to stay. Deal with it. Get over it. Look, Lamar Jackson's going to be dominating for the next decade and a half. So just get with it.
All right.
I just want to recap a couple stats. You know, it's not like these are empty calories here. First of all, he led the Ravens to the best record in franchise history at 14-2. So his production didn't come despite, in an effort that, turned our team to 8-8 or 10-6 or 12-4 or 13-3. We were 14-2 and went on a 12-game winning streak. We were 2-2 and then turned out 14-2. I mean, and then so just some stats to go with it here. He's 66% completion percentage. He threw for 36 touchdowns and only threw 6 picks. He ran for 1,200 yards. That's right, ran for 1,200 yards. And he scored 7 rushing touchdowns. And he probably could have had 7 more if he didn't trip at the 2-yard line a couple times and then hand it off the next play. And on top of that, he doesn't even turn 24 till January of next year.
Crazy.
I mean, look, so let me ask you this, Glenn.
Yeah.
Who in your heart of hearts, who did you think was going to be at number 1?
I thought Pat Mahomes was for sure going to be number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously coming off of the Super Bowl and getting the $500 million contract and the consensus, what seems like the consensus, if you ask many who the best quarterback is, I think most would take would pick Pat Mahomes. And coming off of his historic first 2 seasons as a starter, there's no reason to it's hard to argue it. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you why he won why Lamar was put number 1 and why Pat Mahomes was actually kind of surprising to see him. What is it, 4?
4.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see that. But I'll tell you why I believe Lamar was put at number 1. He's not, he's not just a great running quarterback. He's not just a great passing quarterback. He's so efficient at both, and that's what I think makes him truly special. When you look at his running numbers, the fact that he averaged 6.9 yards per carry, which led the league, and then you look at his passing touchdowns, and you realize he had a touchdown on 9% of his total passes. The efficiency in which he plays is what I think is truly incredible. And I think no one improves the team around them more than him. I mean, just look at our offense. You look at, key players in our offense and look at how their performance drastically improved when he was under center as opposed to Joe Flacco. I mean, Gus Edwards became Gus the Bus, averaging 5.5 a carry when Lamar got back there. Not trying to take anything against Gus, but, Ronnie Stanley went from maybe a top 10 left tackle, but certainly I wouldn't think anyone would put him even in the top 5 with Joe. With Lamar, he was the all-pro. He didn't give up a single sack last year. I just think his impact and the way he changes the defense and makes them play on their heels and forces them to read before they can react and causes that pause in their game makes so many players around him better. And I was listening to, I believe it was Marcellus Wiley point out that, Pat Mahomes and what they do, what he does, it's great is he gets the ball to Tyreek Hill. He gets the ball to Travis Kelce in a multitude of ways. He can get them the ball in a ton of different ways. And he gets the ball to those playmakers and they make plays. And that's why he's so great. But I think what makes Lamar different is that he's the greatest playmaker on the field in all of those categories. There's not another guy you want catching a wide receiver screen. Like, if you could get Lamar to throw the ball and then have Lamar catch the ball, you'd want that. Like that, he's the best playmaker on the field, no matter who's on the field with him. And I think that's the difference is that I heard somebody say that he doesn't always look down the field when he's outside the pocket. That's the new one that I heard, which really blew my mind. And I always thought, don't you think the Ravens coaching and players are probably saying, don't throw the ball, run. We'll turn into blockers. Please run, because you're better with the ball than we are. So, yeah, I mean, I think, he's just incredible. I mean, you look at his season last year, the doubters just every step of the way, they figured him out. The Chargers figured him out. What's he do week 1? 5 touchdowns, no pick. Well, it's the Dolphins. Oh, well, he did it again. Another 5 touchdowns, no pick. He had 3 games with 5 touchdowns, no pick. I mean, it's just every doubt has been silenced, and I don't expect that to change in the future.
Absolutely. I've said this before, and I'm going to bring out this comparison again. When you're talking about the NBA, the way Steph Curry requires you to change your entire game, your entire defensive game plan when he's hitting, is the same thing that Lamar does. Because how much can you practice for somebody pulling up from 30, like off of a dribble, nonchalant? Right? It's impossible to defend. And I think with Lamar, it's the same exact thing like you said. There's not a singular player in the NFL that can impact a game as a singular player as much as Lamar Jackson. And to be able to do that and to have the incredible efficiency that you mentioned, it's not like these are bulk stats. He's not carrying the ball 30 times a game, right? These are incredibly efficient stats. So we're super proud of Lamar Jackson and hope this means, great things to come, which we know it will. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are. The other thing I wanted to mention is that we are going to have a breakdown of all the Ravens that made the top 100 list. Yeah. And then aside from that, we're going to get a little bit wider and talk about some guys outside of the Ravens or even inside the Ravens organization that we thought should have been on the list. Surprises, this, that, and the other. So a little bit more of a deep dive. But
maybe who was slighted. Maybe we think a couple of guys should have been on that weren't. Maybe we thought a guy should have been a little bit higher than he was. Maybe he was a little lower than we were expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. So all things top 100 lists we're going to get to. But go ahead and give us your opinion on whether or not you think Lamar deserved to be number 1. If he didn't, tell us why. But look, come with the facts.
Yeah, don't come crazy talking about he needs to develop as a passer and all that stuff, unless you got some specifics, okay? Because he looked like a pretty darn good passer last year.
Absolutely. And make sure you take a quick second to subscribe. We are knocking on the door, and we are really happy for the growth that we've been getting, the support you guys have been giving us. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we will talk to you guys soon.
See you.